Hello everybody. So, the trope of the edgelord is something so done to death in TTRPGs that it's basically synonymous with D&D horror stories itself, and are also usually the cause of said D&D horror stories. However, they don't always need to be, if done right. For those that don't know, the stereotypical edgelords are characters that have a lot of different issues that they bring to the game and party, and they usually have one of the following traits that they make their entire personality or a combo of for the following: orphan, tragic past, raised by wolves or some other sort of majestic animal, scorned and ostracized by polite society, parents killed by some kind of monster or evil force that they've sworn some kind of vengeance on, or just try to be a hardcore loner and aims to be gallantly stoic, etc. And honestly, for those of you keeping track at home, the craziest part about all of these traits is that a majority of these wouldn't even make awful character concepts. And maybe you've even seen a few of these character concepts in one of your own games done well. Because you can actually play an edgy character well, but you need to know how to do that. And honestly, the biggest issues when it comes to edgelords are execution. You see, it's about how problematic having one of these things in a game can be. You might look at a character that has sort of edgy traits, but you don't necessarily think of them as one of those edgelords, if you catch my drift. And the things that really kind of make that start to bubble up to the surface are one of two main things, or a combo. One is wanting to overshadow everyone to show off just how cool your OC is. And two, being a lone wolf who works alone. You see, for the first point, a good party has strong roles that overlap with each other slightly. A druid and a cleric can both heal. A fighter and a barbarian can both smash. Stuff like that. But the individual ways that each character contributes is slightly different. It's like if you put a bunch of different spices into a dish. While they're all there individually flavoring the food, each one does something a little different. For example, for our fighter and barbarian thing, fighters can offer much more crowd control and utility, whereas barbarians offer higher durability and tanking. But yet, they both serve up a mean knuckle sandwich. And for the most part, that's how everyone on a team should operate. Even if some of the characters have similar skills, they should still be able to go about them differently and help the party overall. However, this is a big chunk of where the edgelords' problems come in, because they really want to be good at everything, and they really want to show just how cool they are, and they really want to sometimes be just so cool that they can't have anyone else be cool. And that's really the biggest problem. And it's an unfortunate case that you'll see in society, is sometimes in order to make yourself look better, sometimes you have to take other people around you down a peg or two, just so you can shine by comparison. And in doing that, and essentially not working with your party to raise everyone up, but instead kind of bashing everyone down to, make yourself stand a little taller, it makes the game suck for everyone. You see, in trying to upstage everyone, you're taking away everyone's time to shine, and even to just sometimes other people's times to enjoy the game. And let's say that this is some advice that you want to apply to your writing as a whole. Sometimes you need to let other characters shine, and sometimes you need to let your main, your favorite, your baby OC suck. Even if you write a story with this one person as the protagonist and they're awesome and they're super cool, sometimes you just have to have other characters be super cool too. And if the way that you write your main OC being super cool is having everyone else around them suck, then you're not a good writer. You see, with D&D and other TTRPGs, it's about the party feeling like heroes. Even if they're just a bunch of bums who somehow manage to not die in some sort of grand adventure, it should still feel epic. And that's one of the big problems. If you've got a character that's all about me, then you're not really playing the game as we. D&D is a team game, and a lot of times you need to play it as such. It's about playing with your friends, or sometimes making friends along the way. Hell, I know I've made really close friends with people that I didn't know at the start of these games or these servers that now I love talking to on a daily basis. And for those of you watching this video, you know who you are. Thank you for being in my life. Anyways, games are meant to be fun and bring people together. And this is where we segue into the other issue with edgelords, being loners. Now, once again, I just want to preface this too for real life. Everyone's got their own personal preference and everything, and people can be introverted, and that's okay. Maybe you do just like solitude a little bit more, and that's all right. People might just tend to quiet reflection and solitude because that's just what they like. They just like feeling that peace and quiet. But you see, there's that level, and then there's being a lone wolf because people can't possibly understand the pain that you've been in order to become the ultimate life form, and everyone else is just not on your level, and just this mentality is not helpful for a team game. Hell, and even if you really wanted to, and you're like, I just want to play a character who's just a little more reflective, a little more soft-spoken, and just maybe not as social, there are still really great ways to do that. You can still play, the strong, stoic, silent type. Because a lot of the fueling concepts can be cool when you put it into your characters. For example, Left 4 Dead for unknown reasons in the woods, your character was adopted by a pack of direwolves who taught you about the life of the pack, nature, and hunting. Over time, you discovered humanoids, other creatures like you, but yet you still keep your roots, joining two worlds, but truly not belonging to either. And there's even tons of mechanics that you can even use to showcase these abilities as well. Maybe you're playing something like a Mark of Handling humanoid, or maybe even a furbolg, or maybe even some sort of beast hide or long-toothed shifter. Also, I'm basically realizing that with that whole Raised by Direwolves example, this is basically a parody backstory to Tarzan, being raised by animals in the wild after their parents died in some sort of horrible accident, leaving them to be on their own, ostracized from the society that they were raised by and questioned by the society that they should be a part of. But yet, Tarzan works, but you've also never really thought of Tarzan's such an edgelord. Come on, this trope has been beaten to death. He's not all about me. He works with others, and in so allows the story to be very compelling. Also because of the Phil Collins soundtrack. Let's be real. But my off-the-walls analogy aside, you get the idea. Edgelords don't work because of how hard they make it to play the game for both the DM and other people. You can't make characters that are all about you trying to be the main character specifically and trying to sidestep the DM and other characters and just every little thing in the world around you to just make you this paragon. Even if you want a character that's edgy, or even if you, want to go and make a joke character where it's you're playing into the cliche, there's still a way to do it where you're helping the party function. My remedy for these two, if you do want to make an edgelord character, don't make or take them too seriously. Sometimes your main character just needs to be the butt of a few jokes. Sometimes you need to be weak and have faults that they can grow from. Sometimes a character needs to fall and open up before the truest form of healing can really start. And trust me, with a super tragic backstory, your average edgelord probably has a lot of healing that they need to go through over the course of the campaign. Your character might be slow to trust others, and that healing arc of slowly letting the party in can be an amazing story to tell. And that really is the part that can make your story and your character amazing, even if they are a little bit edgy. You just have to be able to let them heal, grow, and change. And just let them be open. And personally, I think when it comes to actually writing edgelords at least, it's done well when they are quite literally walking on the edge. There has to be a fine line for a character to have just enough edge to be really cool and likable, or just be an absolute scumbag. And trust me, this is a fine line. Edgelords are a common trope, but really when done right, it can be a great addition to work with in a story. But anyways though, that is all the time I have today for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then please like, comment, and subscribe for even more content from yours truly. And also, let me know in the comments about some of the edgelords you've encountered in-game, whether they be dark and brooding, but also kind of cool to have on the team, or really just the fuel for r/D&D horror stories. I'd love to hear about them. But anyways, in the meantime, keep smiling, keep scheming, and I'll see all of you next time.